What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully, y'all were able to hear that. What's up with y'all? Oh boy, she's the main character, and I'm just here. Oh man. So I'm referencing. I want to say the third link in the description box. Shout out to I am Waffles. I'm Waffles. I'm already ahead of you. I clicked the link. And I did put it in the description box of the white guys talking about black women worshiping them. And the second clip was the one that I kept on referring to. So once again, thank you for that. I am Waffles. The second clip was the one I was referring to that I kept on referring to for years now, where the white guy is sitting in his room and he's like y'all need to get some self-respect type talk, right? So let's give our due. This was inspired by this stream was inspired by Black Uru and by the Raj Report. Shout out to the Raj Report. Y'all check him out Monday through Fridays. Raj streams what 9 o'clock Central Time, I think it is 9 o'clock Central Time. In the morning. So that's 9 a.m. Central, 10 o'clock a.m. East Coast, right? Okay. The Raj Report covered T Noir. Um, this is somebody I made mention of a few times, right? Um, T Noir is Caribbean descent, if I'm not mistaken, is out of New York. Okay, look here, she's a cute sister, she cutish, Um, and she essentially spoke of desirability. Um, and she's kind of covered this type of topic a couple of times from different angles. She made one about black women and black girls and how they feel about validation of what from white guys. Um, T Noir, from my understanding, last time I checked, T Noir identifies as queer, right? So last time I checked, um, and yeah, so there's a lot to say about that. Y'all gives you a second, and let's give the definition of queer. And this is the one. It's an adjective, and in this definition, so it's the second one, denoting or relating to a sexual or gender identity that does not correspond to established ideas of sexuality and gender, especially heterosexual norms. So this is one of the reasons why I would argue a lot of black women are calling themselves queer, right? That's why they're calling themselves queer, once again, denoting or relating to a sexual or gender identity that does not correspond to established, once again, established ideas of sexuality and gender, especially heterosexual norms, right? Man. So, if you want to know why so many, and this is going right to St. Cyr's comment, if you want to know why so many young women, young black women in particular, are on some LGBTQ kick. If you want to know why they're calling themselves queer, if you want to know why you hear about a third or it's somewhere, I think it was either what 23% or a third, 33% of black women identifying as some type of LGBTQ, right? We're coming. By the way, we're not off the topic yet. We're getting to it. It's because they gave up their pursuit in their fight to be seen as quote unquote women. Wait, Z, what? See, you heard Z say women. You need to actually hear what Z is saying. Mr. Z is saying woman. What you need to hear is upper middle class and above, rich, elite, white women. Because that's what this is really about. Huh? And let's read I said T Noir. Sorry, Saint Cyr. I'm about to call you T Noir. Let's read Saint Cyr's comment. And Saint Cyr says, Z, the 30 and under love T Noir. I've heard her mentioned a few times in real life, not just online. Yeah, right. And it's these women and these people that intellectualize what a lot of black women and women of color are feeling. This lack of feeling of desirability because of white men, right? I want us as black men to come to terms with and to let go of an idea of black women and other women of color who don't worship at the altar of white men. They're not going to say it like that. They're not going to frame it like that, right? But it's all about the white peanut at the end of the day for these people. Is that all women of color? No. Is that all black women? No. Is it most? Yeah. So, about that, um, we have to be honest about that, right? When you hear women like T Noir speak about desirability and you see this Indian young lady that I posted and you see the clip from the Latinas that I posted. Once again, all of these are in the description box. You see the East Asian, you see the South Asian young lady that was speaking. All of them are describing either a insane, insatiable envy of white women or an insane, insatiable worship of white men, or a combination of the two. Huh? And this is something that black men just don't have, particularly straight black men. For the most part, straight black men do not envy non black people. Non black men, definitely not white men. And I know, shocker, this goes against all of the feminist tenets that tell us that black men get with the white woman because we can't be the white man, so we get his trophy, right? That's what we've been being told for decades. That a bunch of these black celebrities end up with the white woman because they can't be the white man, so this is their trophy. And then we have high speed internet, and your daughters can record themselves and post themselves on social media. And they started telling you about their envy of white women and their worship of white men because their femininity can only be validated by the man, the white man. Uh oh. And I would love to know where all the technocrats and thinkers and tastemakers in the black community specifically to speak about this. Oh wait, they're too busy beating up on black men. Huh? Well, oh, y'all so busy beating up on black men, chastising black men, insulting black men under the guise of constructive criticism that no one wants to have an honest conversation that we have a bunch of women of color, black women in specific in for our case, who can only have their femininity validated by white men, right? And Paspero G says, I'll be your pogo stick receptacle. Hysterical, right? And for that, sir, you get one of these. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Almost coughed. But yeah, for that, sir, right? If I could find it, that'd be great. There you go. And there you go, right? So the Raj report covered this earlier. Shout out to Black Uru for shouting me out. There's a reason why I cover these things. And BGS has spoken to it recently in one of his think pieces where black men, you have to let go of this idea that you are going to change the world and then black women will get down with your program. Either she's on your program or she's not, right, black men? Either she's on your program or she is not, right? And I'm glad when I heard BGS say that. I was glad that he said it because I think there's a lot of black men, and this is one of their like things. There's a lot of black men who really believe that if they were to become the alpha of alphas, the alpha and the omega, that they can get black women to cooperate. Huh? And no, this is about women of color, black women in specific, and what white colonialism, white hegemonic rule, propaganda of the Western world, particularly America, mass media, what it did to their minds. This is not about what black men haven't built, right? This is about how these women see their femininity and who can truly validate it. And they're going to intellectualize it, and they're going to be verbose, and they're going to be polysyllabic, right? But all of this, what it results down to when you get on the other side of that equal sign, it all equals worship of white men, envy of white women, low-key worship of white women also. Huh? And that's what it is. And Joe says, and thank you for the super chat. We'll pause right here. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Joe says, skirt, skirt. And Joe's for that. You get one of these. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There you go.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
Right. And thank you for that, Joe's. Thank you for that. Right. And Revelot says, BGS last video was really good. It was. It was. As a matter of fact, it might go in the description box after this. Right. It might go in the description box after this. It was. Huh? And Saint Cyr says, bro was doing tricks on it, no pun intended. Terrell says, he went on the roof, seems so apropos. Yep. And that's why I chose that one. That's exactly why I chose extreme pogo sticking up and down these goddamn women of color esophagus. And they're down with it. They're with it. Huh? And that's okay. Right? So I wanted to cover and also because the Roger report, so I listened to it live for a little bit, but Mr. Z got preoccupied. I had things to do, and I missed when the Roger report asked for me to come up if I had the time. So clearly didn't have the time. But I wanted to make this stream or do this stream to emphasize that to black men. You go be great for you, and whoever is on your program, they get to benefit off of it. If it's a black woman, that is great. And if it's not, so be it. Huh? So be it. There is going to be a reckoning with the US economy. We already are witnessing it and feeling it right now, right? And a lot of these white male worshipers are going to be looking for a safe place to land. And I want black men that are part of the black manosphere to vet these women and make sure you don't have a used to be swirler, used to be divester. You don't have a woman that was all about white men, but now done got too real and the white men ain't checking. No? Exactly, Detroit. A safe haven. Don't be a safe haven. Don't be, let Riley tell y'all. Let Riley tell y'all.
That's how it starts, taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes, a sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
Dear black men, Riley had a message for you. Dear black men, Riley had a message for you. Huh? Fake ass Mariah Carey? For all the fake ass Mariah Careys. Huh? You heard what that Indian young lady said? They look at the white woman as the main character and they're just there. And she said it earlier. I know a lot of women of color can empathize. She may not have used the word empathize, but this was the sentiment. She knows there's a lot of women of color that's on the same thing she's on. The white woman is the main character, and they're just extras. Essentially, is what she was saying. She said, "We're just there, or I'm just there." And she also goes on, and I'm referring to, I want to say, my third link in the description box, right? She also goes on to say she had a crush on some dude, white dude, and she's almost certain he's not checking for her like that. These are women of color. I also want to emphasize this is not a black woman thing. Black women are just the loudest about it because they're the furthest away from the ideal. Huh? Oh boy. And Jay, right, JT9000 says 95% of non-white women are hella insecure. Bruh, say that. Good point. And Joe says, ask question, have a convo. Don't take her silence as innocence. Right? Oh man. And Revelot says there was a report, and if you don't mind, if you can find it, Revelot, send it to my email. My email is in the description box. My email is always in the description box. My Cash App is always in the description box. Um, just for future reference, email is always in the description box. Yes, I do check you guys' emails. Shout out to Vince, he knows that. Balari, I've seen what you sent me. Um, yeah, I check what you guys send me in the emails. I may not get to it, I may not cover it, but I definitely see it, right? So I make sure I try to check my email once every couple days, maybe third day at the worst. So y'all bear with me, but yeah, I try to check my email. So if y'all see something y'all want me to talk about, y'all want me to cover, y'all can always send it to my email. Yeah, so y'all, especially TikToks, because now that I kind of have an idea of how to use StreamYards more efficiently, yeah, I could definitely cover TikToks, and I can actually show the video if it's short enough on here, right? So yeah. And yeah, so continuing, and Revelot says there was a report about black women unemployment went from around 4.2 to 6.0 in November. It's about to get spooky out here for them. Hey, this is something they asked for themselves, huh? This is something they asked for themselves. Exactly, Trell. And Trell says hashtag send it to Z. Hashtag send it to Z. Right? Thank you, Phantom. And Phantom says, brothers really gotta watch out for those Asian women. I put the link from the whatever podcast or whatever the whatever show where the Asian young ladies, and there was a whole conversation. I listened to the conversation before, but I was looking for a short because I didn't want to have y'all, shout out to Trell. I didn't want to have y'all watching, 3 hour long discussions about women of color and white men. So I tried to keep everything under about the 10-minute mark. Um but yeah, so the whole conversation, she wasn't the only one that really wasn't rocking with. So that's an Asian young lady that doesn't date Asian men. Now she said, "Oh, I'm not opposed to it," but let's be very clear. Most of the Asian women that's starting to say that now is because they got so much backlash over the past couple decades, and especially they've been talking so crazy on the internet in their own respect, right? That now they kind of do like, well, it's only a coincidence that I've only dated white men. No, it's not. Stop it, right? So I definitely want to emphasize, just like what the brother said, y'all watch out for them Asian girls, right? As Phantom says, brothers really gotta watch out for those Asian women. Y'all watch out for them because white men are not gonna wife all of them, and Asian men ain't trying to follow behind no white man like that, like that. So they gonna try to go to the men they think are the most egalitarian, which is true, and the kindest and the one that's willing to take them after the white man. I ain't following behind no white man. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Huh? Oh man. So teen war to me, and the idea, and I've said this before, let's make sure we say it again before we get back to teen war. Dear black men, first of all, black women destroyed the social contract between black men and black women before we even get to the rest of it. And with that, not even saying it was your responsibility in the first place, but definitely since they shredded the social contract, dear black men, it is not your job or your responsibility to kill yourself, to work yourself to death, to work yourself to the bone, to put black women in the position where white men want to pipe them and maybe stay married to them. Get married and stay married to them. Black women may not be framing it that way, right? They're definitely not speaking like Z about it, but that's what it is. Dear black men, dear all of the black manosphere, any black man that is listening, it is not your job to elevate black women in their beauty, in their physique, in their phenotype, so that they can have their femininity and their womanhood validated by white men. Go get it from the white man then. Huh? These weirdos really think they can call on community to have their beauty validated by white men. What are we supposed to be hemming up every random white man and telling him, "Hey, you better worship our women. You better worship our women. You better put her on the cover of all the magazines, and you better put her on the beauty pedestal right next to white women for the European beauty standard." What? Huh? You don't get to call on community and call on black men so that black men can what, validate your beauty even more than they already are, so that the white man can elevate you, or so that the white man can pick you. I just want us to remember this is the same sex that likes to throw out the term incel as a pejorative, as an insult. Huh? This is the same sex calling others creepers and weird, huh? And stalkers, huh? This is the same sex talking about quote unquote a real man. I just want us to remember this is the same sex. Oh boy. Meanwhile, what they want is to be validated by the white man. Weirdos. And they want you to elevate them so that he can choose them. Get out of here. Right? And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. My apologies, y'all. I forgot to put my goddamn intermission song. My apologies. Um, and I definitely. So I just wanted to make sure that I got this. I played back a little bit of T Noir's stream, and I definitely want to get this. The ordinary conversation. Let's make sure that we get into this. Here is the problem with the conversation. You live in a community, unfortunately for black men, with black men who, for decades now, ordinary black men have been insulted. We even have black women saying black men don't earn enough more than black women. Where are y'all to cover that? Oh, wait, I forgot. Y'all really focus on black women because intersectionality. Uh-oh. These people really think you can elevate black women without elevating black men. How's that been working for you for the past few decades? Wait, it hasn't been. Oops. Huh? How's that been working for you for the past few decades?
As we don't have the capacity.
Just saying. Huh? So, if you're speaking about ordinary and average, Americans writ large have a problem in contempt for average. Number one. Number two, black women in particular have been being very insulting towards the term average. Let me remind y'all of this phrase that got popularized on Kevin Samuels' channel. Who wants to be with average anyway? Oops. Huh? The white girls aren't told to settle. Y'all forgot. Dear T Noir. Huh? And this is an old think piece from T Noir, but still. Dear T Noir. That's black women, T Noir. You want to talk about average and a contempt for average. The average black woman weighs 180 some odd pounds, damn near 190. 5'4", 5'5". Huh? JT and Ari Lennox aren't average. Uh-oh. JT from the City Girls, y'all. The average black woman actually, once again, is like 5'4", 5'5", 180 some odd pounds. That's average. And yet you still don't see black men necessarily having the same contempt for them that black women have for the average black man. This goes back to what the Rogers report was saying. This really was an appeal to black men. This was not an appeal to black men. This was an appeal to white society. And what do white men have to say about that? It's none of their business. You know what white men think about this? There you go. Huh? Really? And this is actually really, really embarrassing.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
See, you be directing the conversation just so you can say that now, huh? Yes. Huh? So, to make a think piece about this contempt that people have for average looking black women weigh like 180 some odd, damn near 190 pounds. And Chaos says 5'3". I've heard 5'4", but we could do that. 5'3", 5'4", 5'5", 190 pounds. You know who's supposed to weigh 190? Like 6 foot tall people. 5'11" brothers. Oh, wait, Z, you said should. Oh, wait, Z, you're leaning too much into European beauty standards, Z. Oh, God, you're right, you're right. Oops, my bad. Huh? Oh, boy. right? Listening to her speak, it really does give what Black Uru was saying and what the Roger Report was saying. This is really about, and what Kev C was saying, shout out to Kev C. I didn't finish the entire stream from the Roger Report, so I didn't catch everybody else that went on. So there might be a part 2 to this coming to a screen near you, right? Oh boy. Oh, let me read this one now. An Inspired Truth broadcast says, I watch Teen Wars videos. It's erudite, sounding, superficial, pseudo-intellectual fluff that doesn't reflect reality. You know, I listened to the interview with the funky academic and Zed Jalani. Never could get his name out correctly. And I've been following him on and off for a little while. And there's something about cultural leftists, the people that kind of engage more in like culture talk, as Tinor said, desirability talk, sexuality talk, gender talk. Not so much the economic stuff, right? The political stuff. They more engage in the social and cultural conversation. There's something about them that they're in like these bubbles, right? They're in these bubbles, these almost bomb-proof bubbles. And I don't want to say Teen War is not aware that like most people would look at her maybe stance on intimacy, relationships, heterosexual stuff, and be like, what? I'm not gonna say she doesn't fully. I would say she doesn't appreciate it fully. She knows, but she doesn't fully appreciate it. And these people do really well at curating a reality for themselves that doesn't actually exist in reality. If that makes any sense, right? If that makes any sense, right? And I would argue that's where like this type of talk comes from. It's like disconnected from the reality that most people ain't signing up for what y'all talking about. Huh? Even the women who would maybe rather be validated by white men. It's just too much. Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, excuse me, y'all, Mrs. Z. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and you get this. Right. That's kind of inspired by Nema, you guys. When me and Nema were speaking about them racing up the sand dunes with their Nissan Patrols and Toyota Land Cruisers and whatnot, right, in the Middle East, right. So I really want to stress that. Um, it sounds nice, but to be frank with you, you being validated and your beauty being validated in this white neo-colonial project we call America. I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't see it. I really don't see it, right? Vegas says to them, going to the gym equals Eurocentric. I wouldn't say that. I would say a number of women, regardless of race, have resigned themselves to the way they look. And because men tend to be such horn dogs, they already know they can get peen regardless, right? Now they're not gonna be honest that what they're getting is the 2 o'clock in the afternoon, excuse me, 2 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, um, 3 o'clock in the morning, desperate peen, right? They're not gonna be honest with themselves with that. They're not gonna be honest that all they are is the sneaky link for their coworker. They're gonna tell the rest of us, "Oh, I dated." Huh? I dated such and such. I've been out with such and such. Yawn. Huh? Thank you, Saint Cyr, the late night creep. So the gym being Eurocentric, they just said, I'm not doing it. Why should I? Right? And GC say that. And GC says they don't want to be held to any standards, but want to hold others to the highest. Right? But as Inspired Truth says, erudite and superficial. Fluff. Translation, that sounds nice. I hear you, Inspired Truth. Hey, if you want to know how Z says it, that sounds nice. Let's read that again. Inspired Truth says, I watched Teen Wars videos. It's erudite sounding. Once again, that sounds nice. Erudite sounding, superficial, pseudo-intellectual fluff that doesn't reflect reality. Say that in Z terms. That sounds nice. Right? Oh boy. Huh? And once again, thank you for the super chat. And Chef Butter Biscuit says, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Chef Butter Biscuit says, deny the reach back extends beyond black women, gents. Say that. And thank you for the super chat, Chef Butter Biscuits. Exactly. Dear black men, deny the reach back. Deny the reach back. Is going to be women throwing the box, especially as this economic landscape changes. And the U.S. continues to dry up that loose money. Huh? There's going to be a lot of people who, women in particular, who had these kind of BS jobs. There's literally a book called BS Jobs. And they're going to be hurting. These are the same women a decade ago that was giving men all type of middle fingers. Decenter men talk and whatnot. Right? That sounds nice. I agree with Chef Butter Biscuits. Deny the reach back. And Inspired Truth says reality distortion feels hysterical. Right? And Chef Butter Biscuits, you get for your super chat. Thank you very much. Right? See, what I want to play is what got me demonetized. Oh, by the way, the last stream got demonetized because of a certain video I played. And I'm really tempted to play it right now, but it's the sound, it's the music in the background, it's not the actual video. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it. So I'm gonna have to use something else. All right, give me a second. Inspired Truth. I mean, Chef Butter's Biscuits is better yet. Let's play this one instead. Let's play this one instead. And thank you for that, Chef Butter Biscuits. Thank you for that. Right? Deny the reach back. Exactly. And Joe says all those TikTok videos of women waking up at 8 a.m. to go to work and do F all. Bro, say that. Huh? And so y'all give Z a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I will hit y'all with the intermission song because I remember this time. Because I gotta I want to recall everything that she said because I really want to hone in on this is really about the validation once again from white men. I don't expect T Nor to say it. I think she thinks she got over it. She did make a think piece about this, which I guess I might as well review now. So we'll end up reviewing that maybe in the next month or so. But yeah, she did make a think piece about it. So I guess we'll come around to that. But y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, everyone. And we're back. We're back. I don't know how many times it looped over. I don't know if it did, if it kept on going. I hope so. Um, okay. Okay. Mr. Z, take a breath. So T Nor speaks about we need to have a conversation about the intra-racial, so the internal black conversation about featureism. Oh boy, we are there now. Colorism. Oh, yep, we're definitely there, right? And women in the ordinary, black women in the ordinary. Oh, you better believe it. Huh? You better believe it. Huh? In other words, translation. You know this gonna come back on you, black men, right? You know this is really about you, black men, right? White men don't validate them, but it's black men's fault. Oh boy. Huh? Let's be very clear. Black men, you know it's really on you. The second you start hearing them say colorism, featureism, and we need to have a conversation about what's going on in the black community internally, intraracial, oh, but once they start saying that intraracial talk, huh? You already know this is about to be, if you're lucky, it's going to be intellectual, um verbose, polysyllabic dressing down of black men if you're lucky. And if you're not so lucky, it's just gonna be straight insults of black men. Huh? And veneration of white men, but of course. Huh? And the veneration of all non-black men. International Ronin says it right here, exactly. International Ronin says, black women, we need to have this we need to have this conversation. Headphones on. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Exactly. And the second they say that, Mr. Z is more like,
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
right? That's more Mr. Z, right? Because in reality, these ladies are not being honest about your real issue is that white man ain't checking for you. Because we already did the numbers. We already checked the
Check the
statistics,
statistics.
right? To be honest with you. Yes, Vince, it's because of you. It's because of you. And Vince says he got the clip, right? And Joe says it's black men's fault because we haven't turned into General Zod and take over. Say that. Huh? And Chef Butter Biscuit says, my timeline on Twitter has been filled with people, white men included, cooking black women divestors. People are sick of this ish, right? And I get it because the divestors are so extreme and so loud with it, and it's their way of like get back for Kevin Samuels, for what they deem as a slight in Kevin Samuels even existing and breathing when he was alive, and the fact that it wasn't some black man that deleted black Kevin Samuels for I guess what they see as lowering our image. Black women, how can black men's image get any lower in your mind is beyond me. But this is their get back. Being worshiping white men in front of the world is their get back. They are not embarrassed by it. They are not.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
They're not. They are not. Right? Huh. So we just got to be honest about that. So yeah, they might be cooking black women right now, but that don't mean anything to them. Huh? And so I get where T-Noir is coming from, right? When you're in your bubbles and you feel like for the most part, black women don't have any real plights anymore now, do they? Yeah, it would be great if white society would be a little bit more open to them and let them make a couple more dollars. But black men have an issue with incarceration. That's not a black woman issue, right? Black men need to get their money up. That's not so much of a black woman issue, right? Huh? For women like this, they have moved on to more loftier ideals and goals, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now their issue is having their femininity validated by white men. They're not worried about food anymore. They're not worried about employment anymore. They're not worried about geopolitics. They're not worried about the pollution of whatever. Absolutely not. Now they're worried about representation politics, not identity politics, which once again could be turned into a pejorative and a negative also, but having their femininity and their quote unquote beauty validated by the man, not a man, but the man. Do we expect T Noir to frame it like that? No. Do we expect T Noir to speak like that? No, absolutely not. Huh? But is that what it's about? Yes. Huh? And Dr. D says, but why blame Kevin Samuels? He didn't hurt you. Women do this weird thing where they don't address the problem. They cover it with something else. It's weird, man. Look, Kevin did hurt them in their minds. I'm not saying we should care. In their minds, and as a matter of fact, somebody said it. Did somebody send this to me? It might be in my history, where a woman says, black men or men didn't have these standards until Kevin Samuels. That lets you know where their mind is. This is why Mr. Z says let them talk. Huh? This is why everything was perfectly okay until that meddling kid, Kevin Samuels, on some Scooby-Doo stuff, right? Until that nosy, meddling Kevin Samuels. And remember, they see the rest of us in the black manosphere as not even just Kevin Samuels acolytes, Kevin Samuels sycophants, right? That's how they see us. They didn't even know there was a black manosphere before there was a Kevin Samuels. Huh? Trail says Kevin Samuels shattered their delusions. I would modify that a little bit, Trail, and say we shattered their delusions. Kevin was just the face of it. Because you better believe that those women that Kevin Samuels interviewed, they went back and read those comments, those live comments. You better believe if they weren't reading the comments while he was streaming, you better believe they went back and read those live comments. Huh? Once again, that's if they weren't reading them live while they were streaming, while they were recording themselves. Huh? See, that's what happens when you get out of the black gynocratic bubble. See, when you get out of the black gynocratic bubble and you realize white male propaganda over the past few decades really didn't change much about what men think about women and what men see in women and what men like about women and what men dislike about women, when you realize that those white folks and the billions of dollars, the tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars of propaganda over the past few decades of women being sugar and spice and everything nice and men being big dumb dopes, big dumb idiots. When you realize that men don't see themselves as big dumb idiots, there's a handful of broken ass men that buy into this. Some of them are rich, some of them are famous. Huh? When you realize that the masses of men don't think of ourselves as big dumb idiots willing to be, excuse me, big dumb idiots waiting to be civilized by women, when you are used to being wittier than the men around you, quicker, smarter, or they just not gonna engage, they're gonna ignore you because they're afraid they're gonna Z, don't say it. Huh? Let's just say they don't want to go to jail. When you're used to being able to loud talk and be sarcastic and snarky, to men, and then your dumbass calls into Kevin, and he's wittier than you and quicker than you and smarter than you and more informed than you, when that happens and your bubble burst, yeah, Trill, Kevin shattered their delusions, but it was really us. Because Kevin is a product of us. And we're in the comments backing him up. Not even just Black Manosphere, men writ large. Yeah, there were white men and Latino men in those live comments. Uh-oh. Quiet as kept. That's really why women writ large, Black women specifically, white men, ooh, I said that. A whole lot of people had an issue with Kevin because this Black man showed you how to be a man. Ooh, god damn, Z. This Black man showed America, yeah, all that BS propaganda, all them rich white folks been pushing to this country, into the West, into the world. Yeah, it didn't take. Oops. Gotta redirected the whole conversation a different direction. I'll go with it. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Mr. Z out here freestyling. That's what Kevin showed them. That it did not take. And he showed them what their daughters sound like after a few decades of second wave plus feminism. All that a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Yeah, about that. Are you sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Say that, Mr. White Man. Woman after woman calling into Kevin Samuels show, looking for rich men that kiss their ass. That's what it came down to at the end of the day. They're saying $100,000 because they can't count. They're looking for millionaires. They were in the middle of Armageddon looking for millionaires. They're saying 6 figures and above. They're saying $100,000 because they cannot count. So yeah, these women had a problem with Kevin, and they see Kevin as being like an existential crisis. Like Kevin was the worst thing to ever happen. Yeah, y'all feel like that. Of course you do. Because Kevin was supposed to do what every single other lame-ass elder does. Look at the men, point at them, wave their finger, wag their finger at the men, and tell the ladies, there, everything about you is perfect and good. The men are insufferable. The men haven't developed personality. The men are not likable. The men are intimidated by you and your college degree. The men don't want to grow up. The men don't want to go seek therapy. The men are these retrograde, sexist, misogynistic losers. These failed patriarchs. They're there, ladies. They're there. And Kevin's presence online was essentially doing this.
Check the statistics.
That's what Kevin was doing online. What Kevin was doing the math.
2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
Right? That's what Kevin was doing. No? Meanwhile, these ladies are looking at Kevin like he's a problem. He's showing you how absolutely asinine y'all sound. How insane you sound. Huh? And y'all should have been embarrassed, but you were not.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
I'm saying. Huh? And Ghostmatic says, LOL, Z leveled up in 2025. Hashtag quick math. Hey, for that, you get one of these. You get one of these.
2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
Huh? Because that's what it is. That's what we do here. The social math. That's what we do here. We don't put out these weirdo think pieces. What? Why won't white women elevate the black man's image? Why won't white women put black men next to white men as the ideal man? Huh? We're not doing that. Huh? We're not doing. We have to have an intraracial conversation about, excuse me, the European idea of luxury and money and power. Now, Mr. Z might be saying that. The rest of Black America ain't saying that. The rest of black men aren't saying that. Excuse me, y'all, a dry cough. I'm trying to hold back. Huh? But when you let the ladies talk, oh boy. Huh? Huh? When you let the ladies talk, they talk about black men like we gotta pay them.
You gonna pay what you owe, nigga?
Huh? Like we owe them something once again.
You gonna pay what you owe, nigga?
Huh? Oh boy. And that's why we cover the things we cover over here. You listen to T Noir's clip, you look at all the other clips I put, the women of color, it's all about the white dude. Now, yes, we've seen the man on the street interviews where white women talk about black men like they're into black men. We've seen it. Yes, we understand. We get it. Right? And we even seen them kind of maybe take a jab or two at white men talking or speaking positively about black men. But it's not a thing. Women of color, black women in specific, on the other hand, oh no, you better believe they look disgusted when you say it. Who are you into? White men? What, I was supposed to be into black men? Ew. White men? What am I supposed to? What am I supposed to date Latino men because I'm a Latina? Ew. I hate when people assume that because I'm Asian, I date Asian men. What? Y'all sound weird. You want to talk about weird? Y'all sound weird as hell. Huh? And y'all really should be embarrassed.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Saying, right? Elkston. Elkston, you one of the few. You one of the few. And Elkston says, Z, I'm not feeling the clips, memes. I prefer just straight talk. It added a level of seriousness to your talk. Maybe I'm just too old. Gen X. I think it's split. I think a few more people might be in disagreement with you than in agreement with you, but I think it's split. I think it's split, right? I definitely appreciate the seriousness. So I think there'll be streams that I do with no memes, no memes. But yeah, but the seriousness of the matter, it's still serious because we're actually talking about what's going on in the black community and this idea that we're gonna lay the responsibility of elevating black women in their beauty at black men's feet. Okay, just so that white men could choose upon black women. Absolutely not. And I know T Noir didn't say that, but that's what it is. Goddamn, I just said it. I said it. Huh? That's what it is. Oh boy, Z. And it's comical to think that that is really what the fight is. Elevate me so that the white man can choose up on me. What? And I'm Waffles. Thank you for that video because guess what? It's getting spliced and it's going to be part of the rotation. Sorry, Elkston. That's going to be part of the rotation. Shout out to I am Waffles. Both of the clips of the white men. Y'all send me more of them. Right? Vince, thank you. And Vince says, I just think Z needs to experiment and tweak it. We're building while we fly. And rest in peace, Kevin Sanders. We build it while we fly. We build it while we fly. Right? Exactly. I am. I'm ODing on purpose right now. I think I got about a couple weeks to OD with the memes. I'm about to OD with the memes, and I'm gonna bring it back down. Maybe I got 2-3 weeks before I get tired of the memes. Every other sentence, right? And GC says Z is getting used to how to use them exactly, and where to insert them too, right? But it is a serious matter, as going back to what Elkston is saying. But these are our mothers. Ooh, goddamn Z. Why you got to keep on reminding people that? And our sisters, and our aunts, and our girl cousins, and some of our wives. Ooh. Some of our ex-wives. The reason why she's an ex-wife is because it was the reach back. Ooh, goddamn Z. You wasn't supposed to say that, Z. The reach back was from Pookie. The reach back was from the white man she never told you about, or the Latino she never told you about, or multiple white men she never told you about. Ooh. Uh-oh. Z, you can't be saying stuff like that, Z. You goddamn doomer. Right? Oh, man. Huh? And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Okay, that's what I really wanted to make sure, right? Representation matters. Who we see getting praised on the internet, it matters. So T Noir says that. And that we're gonna spend a couple minutes on that point right there. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Representation matters. You live in a, once again, neo-colonial white settler state, ma'am. Huh? Oh boy. You live in a white neo-colonial settler state. Representation matters. And of course, white folks are going to venerate white folks. Asian women are marrying white men left, right, and center. And yet, even though there are a number of white men in Hollywood married to Asian women, how many times do you see a Asian love interest in a Hollywood movie, in a television show, anywhere? Huh? This like insatiable need, this desire for validation, to have your femininity and your womanhood validated by white men. I don't care what they saying. It's white men, right? Representation does matter. I actually agree with T Noir on that. Now, who's supposed to represent you though? Ooh, goddamn. Who's supposed to venerate you? Ooh, who's supposed to elevate your beauty? Yikes. Who do you discount when they do elevate your beauty and your phenotype? Uh-oh. Whose validation are you actually seeking? Miss me with the I'm not seeking anyone's validation. Huh? Trell, you know I thought it. And Trell says, shout out to Julie Chen Moonves. Huh? Evidence that you too can go from side chick to wife. Oops. God damn, Z, you said that all out. Huh? Huh? Whose validation do you discount, and does it not really count? Does it not really matter? And whose validation, who, when they, excuse me, uplift you and venerate you and speak positively about you and promote you, do you discount, and who do you cherish when they do validate you? Uh-oh. Message. Don't worry, I'm gonna find the clip. It's coming. We won't put it in there too. Right? Faber, this is what I'm saying. And Faber says, women of color, you can't help who you love, but all happen to love white men. Bruh. Huh? Oh boy. And the big cheese says, at this stage of the game, black men must accept that black women doesn't belong to black men. They are the property and responsibility of white men and the government. And black women don't like or respect as a group, respect us as a group. I think you meant to say yes. Right? And that's a hard, difficult realization for many black men, I think, to come to terms with. And I think it's going to be a hard, difficult realization for black women when they have to be hit with or met with how black men then move when enough a critical mass, if not the majority of black men, come to the realization that black women don't belong to you, and they never did. Right? I think black men right now, where they are with the feeling is this.
As we don't have the capacity.
That is black men, many black men, maybe not so many black men in the black manosphere, but I would argue black men are there with it. And black women take advantage of that. That's where the shaming language comes in. Shame, insults, guilt that need to be right. That's where shame and guilt comes in. Because black women, excuse me, black men, their demeanor concerning black women not belonging to them is this.
As we don't have the capacity.
Right? When really, black men should be moving like this when it comes to black women. That's how black men should be moving when it comes to black women, so that white men can. Right? That's really what it should be right now. And the Rogers report says, excuse me. The Rogers report says, I just watched all of them clips. That was sad. I'm glad. Excuse me, y'all. Just dry cough. I'm glad those ain't my women. But Raj, shout out to the Rogers report. Spoke to him a little bit earlier. The Indian chick, the Indian young lady, she just came out and said it. Right? The white woman is the main character, and she just feels like she's just there. And when she said that, I was like, clip it, but Mr. Z gonna clip it. Clip it, put it in the book, because that's women of color. Huh? That's women of color right now. Now, these are first world problems. Let's be very clear. And I should have said that earlier. These are first world problems like a mug. These are first world problems. You live in a quote unquote advanced society. People ain't starving. People are able to get around. People have, well, I guess if you're not in Flint or different places in the country, clean water, air quotes, clean water, right? We don't, at least in America right now, we're not in a war-torn society, right? And so, because we live a quote-unquote relatively comfortable existence, emphasis on the relatively, the first world problems are now about desirability and being validated once again by the white man, right? And all the white man want to do is right? That's all he want to do with those women of color, huh? That's what it's really about. And shout out to Black Uru. Black Uru says, Black ADOS men appear to be the only humans who seem to be capable of resisting this madness. And half the reason I'm covering this, Black Uru, is because of you, because you shouted me out on the Roger Report's channel, and shout out to the Roger Report. He's in here also. He says she's reading the wrong book, hysterical. But yeah, I'm covering this because the way Teen War spoke about this kind of futurism and colorism and Ari Lennox and JT from the City Girls, and I'm just like, yeah. If you're talking about black men specifically, that would be one conversation. But it don't really look like you talking about like you talking about black men, but are you really talking to black men? Or is this like you just talking to black women about black men? Right? Like what exactly is this? Huh? Oh boy. And I agree with Black Uru where, and I think me and Black Uru may mention this. I think black men are the only ones, especially in America, black men are the only ones that actually care about love. Everybody else is working off of positionality. There's a pun in there. Everybody's working off of position and like leveraging intimacy, sex, love for things, for position. There's a pun in there. Huh? Black straight men seem to be the only ones in America for the most part that actually care about this quote unquote LOVE word. Huh? I see you, Rebelot. I haven't followed the story so much. That's why I haven't highlighted the name. I'm gonna, do a little bit of digging and find out. But yeah, there's a way that Rod says things, and the Raj report says, and I guess I'll read this to highlight your super sticker. And the Raj report says, "We're just actually sane as a group." Say that, and we'll thank the Raj report for his excuse me, super sticker, and thank you for the super sticker, Raj. And Raj, you get a see, Raj. See, what I really want to play for you. Okay, I'm gonna play this for you, Raj, but it's gonna get me demonetized. So let's just like, share, subscribe, y'all, because I'm gonna play this for Raj because this fits Raj's personality, right? But it's gonna get me demonetized because I didn't remove the song from this and it got me demonetized the last video. So y'all go ahead, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat because Raj over here getting me demonetized. Here you go, Raj. And I played that for the Raj Report super sticker because, by the way, that's a BMW 8 Series on airbags on BBSs, and that's a boss ass coupe. And I think that fits Roger's personality like chef's kiss. So that's why I used that one for the Roger Report. Um, so yeah, y'all. Continuing. So no, I do think this women of color thing and this veneration of white men and their validation, and as Raj said, black you just ADOS black men, but I would say those of us like Z, child of immigrants, we're the sane ones. I agree with the Raj report. We're the sane ones. We are, right? And it's I don't know how many of us have had this conversation. Maybe you go out of town, or maybe you meet up with family who you haven't seen in a while, and they say something or they believe in something, and you're like, wait, what? I remember who was I watching, and they were saying like they were speaking to a family member who thinks like the world started 6,000 years ago. I wanted to say it was a comedian, and they were like, yeah, but what about dinosaur fossils? And that person was like, yeah, we used to ride the dinosaurs or something like that. And it's like, yeah, when I look at us as black men in America, and in the West maybe generally, but in America in specific, I agree with Raj. We're the sane ones. We are the sane ones. They do say, you're insane when you claim that you're the sane one. True, but we are the sane ones because when you listen to these other people talk, oh boy, huh? And once again, the Raj report. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. When you listen to these other folks talk, oh man, right? And Chef Butter Biscuit says that Indian chick can get it. She won't be worried about the white boys for long. Hysterical. I don't know, bro. She looked like she looked like she a bit on the spectrum. To be honest with you, she looked like she on the spectrum a little bit. I don't know, Chef Butter Biscuits. I hear you, but I don't know. She got a cute face. I agree, but yeah, she look. If you look at her other videos, yeah, you might want to pause on that, right? You might, yeah. Are you sure about that,
You
Chef Butter
sure
Biscuits?
about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
The white man asked you if you sure about that, right? You sure? Are you sure about that? That's what he asked you, right? Faber says, "What Indian girl?" Links are in the description box. Links are in the description box, right? Just saying, right? So yeah, we us being the sane ones, yeah. Black Uru said it. The Rush Report said it. Yeah, yeah. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. Once again, the Roger Report says we're just actually the sane ones, and Black Uru says Black ADOS men appear to be the only humans who seem to be capable of resisting this madness. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. And I think a lot of that happens. A lot of that is because we were positioned as the juxtaposition, huh? We're positioned as the other, the ultimate other, right? Hey, Black Uru, I'm just saying. You wake up to the Thule in your face. You wake up to the right. You wake up to the revolver in your face. For real, huh? Just saying. She really do. Hey, I'm saying, right? And Chef Butter Biscuit says, I checked out her IG. She may be on there, Z. Only one way to find out. All right, Chef Butter Biscuit. Proceed at your own peril. Huh? And Gilgami says it's even more present amongst Indian, Pakistani, because they already have a caste system where the less mixed Aryans put themselves at the top, right? Say that. And he continues, so when the white colonizers reached their lands and did their deeds, such behavior and mentality was only accentuated. Yeah. Accented. I said accentuated. Accented. Z. Jesus Christ. Get it together. Um, yeah. Um, I know loosely about this, Gilgami. You definitely know more about this than I do. But it makes sense. And like we understand that. I think especially amongst black men, we're having that conversation amongst the black manosphere in specific about the psychology and the black and you this is what I really, 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 really appreciate about the ADOS community is they turned this conversation about white power into like something that you actually study, right? Into an academic endeavor. What did white hegemonic rule do to the minds of everyone, including white folks themselves, right? What did it do to the minds of everyone? Men, women, men of color, white men, white women. What did a few centuries of white domination, white colonialism, white hegemonic rule, what did it do? Right? And I think in these spaces we have a conversation about what did that do to the minds of the women of color for us in specific for black women But for others, I don't know if they have these conversations as readily as we do in the West, in America in specific, right? And I don't know how much. See, we talk about, and shout out to Armio Frimpong, because I would actually like for him to kind of go into this range. We speak about, and once again, shout out to the fucky academic, about family being like the prophylactic, being like the shield to market ideology. I was speaking around it and speaking to it a little bit. Shout out to Compassionate for reminding me that I was already speaking about it. Shout out to him for that. But I think the fucky academic, and just because he just has he's read the books, he has the knowledge to speak about it far better than I can. Um, I would I would like to kind of put this into the atmosphere. I think that black people, black men in specific, being so far out of the in group, at in a weird way, it and this is going to what Black Uru said, in a weird way, it shields us from the madness of trying to climb up that hill, right? Like ice skating uphill, we're not even attempting to ice skate uphill. We don't have our ice skating boots on. We're not even in the snow. We're not even at the hill, right? We're not trying to ice skate uphill. I think these other people, because there's this like because they're closer, there's this idea that they might, maybe, possibly one day be able to achieve this thing, this like political, social whiteness, maybe even for the women, maybe phenotypical whiteness. This is insanity, but okay. And so they don't have this kind of shield, this kind of protection, right? That black people, black men in specific, once again, black men in specific do, right? And I think that's what protects us in many ways, and our sanity. I think that's what protects our sanity, is that we know you ain't a white man. You never will be, right? Phenotypically, politically, socially, maybe you could get some money, but even the way you still economically won't be able to move the way he does. Huh? I know Diddy's in jail right now for things, but Diddy said that to you. Byron Allen said that to you. Um, Jay-Z thought he could. Yeah, right. Huh? Just saying. So I think there are others who work really hard to be excuse me, validated by these people. Just saying, right? And Gilgami says, at the bottom of their caste system, make oh okay, no, let me read this one now. The pale-skinned Aryans entered the Hindu Kush lands a millennia ago, pushing the Dravidians further south, mixing with many as well. They transformed the caste system by having the close to Dravidians at the bottom of their caste system, okay, making them Dalits, untouchables, and the bottom of the non-untouchable caste, the Aryans, excuse me, the Aryans of Iran and Afghanistan are less mixed with Kushites, for example. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. Shout out to Z for realizing that many of these countries in the Middle East, their country name pretty much means white. Goddamn Z. If you don't know, now you know. Right? Huh. And Black Guru says Kanye, Cosby, Michael Jackson, Robert Smith, etc. I thought about Robert Smith as I was speaking, actually. Right? So I think going to what you're saying, Black Guru, that's why black men might have some resistance to this in ways that others don't, because we are born and bred in a society that lets us know from the jump, from the start, that you will never be a white man and you will never be able to move around like one, period. And that, in a weird backwards way, protects us from aspiring for that. And so we're not insane like these others. Everyone else, on the other hand, welp, right? Everyone else is like that Indian young lady who tells you white women are the main character and women like her are just there, right? You imagine living in a society where you matriculate through your education and you start your career and you're a supposed fully grown adult, and in the back of your mind is this, huh? In the back of your mind is this, that the white woman is the main character. God damn. And you're just there, huh? These people, when Mr. Z says these people need to be put in a goddamn straitjacket, when I say these people are off their rockers, do y'all recall when I covered um what that was, that wasn't even last year, that was the year before. When I covered Chrissy speaking about she was actually getting at me, and she played a clip on her channel of a white girl in this jumbo-sized dollhouse with her mother, and she kind of lost it for a second, right? And she started using profanity, and she was essentially saying, like, if the white girl could get this and the white woman could get this, then why can't we get it? No, F that. We're deserving of that too, right? Once again, that jealousy of white women. So that is a black woman who's watching a little white girl, a young white girl, in a dollhouse, a life-size dollhouse with her mother, and she lost it for a second. Jealousy. Then you have this Indian young lady who's just straight up admitting that she's feeling jealous of white women, and that when she sees put together white women, she feels like she is just there, and that white woman is a main character, is not even the main character. Jesus Christ. Huh? These are the women that you're in a country with, dear black men. Shout out to Accountable Commentary. This is why we say no reach back. You can't do nothing with this. It's only a matter of time before she divorces you. Huh? You can't do anything with this. Man. And Black Uru says, I also think we have seen and experienced enough to know that in any fair fight at any level, the chances of black men against any white man or any other non-black men or women are pretty damn good. Right? I agree. Right? I agree. But that's, ah, I think, and because the system isn't rigged in our favor, and there is no quote unquote soft place for us, I think that builds a race of Spartans, if you really want to be honest. If we really want to get there. If you really want to go there, that's what it does. Because black men, there's no scheme that got us to where we are. Right? It's not nepotism. It's not payola. It's not any type of cultural bias in a positive way towards us. It's none of that. Right? It's not any type of positive stereotypes. We don't get any of that. No? And to be frank with you, on the other end, no one's trying to weaponize us against others. So we don't get any of it. Right? So that puts black men in a position where, so, and if you were to strip everyone else of the things that have helped and benefited them in this system, well, this would be them.
So we don't have the capacity.
That would be them. Right? And I see Gil Gami and Pastor G speaking about Ramaswamy in the comments. The problem with Ramaswamy, Vivek, is that he didn't really do the math. He didn't really do the...
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
I'm saying. He did it. He thought he was good with the white folks. He thought that Ann Coulter was a one-off. He didn't check the statistics.
Check the statistics.
It's that simple. Huh? Just say it. And Gilgami says, many documents of white intelligentsia discuss such a thing, not having black men having a proper footing lest they overcome their opponents. Black, yep. Yep. Huh? But America, look, I told y'all, let's say it again. Let's say it for the people that never heard Z say this. It's going to be black men that drag America kicking and screaming to what it said it is on paper. It's going to be black men. Once again, America is going to...
You gonna pay what you owe, Santa?
It is. It is. Y'all hear Z say that, but I mean it though. And I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up black men's rear end. I'm not just saying that for some self-aggrandizement. Nope. Huh? Man. Oh, St. Cyr says, you need that. You don't have the facilities, big man, from the quick maps guy that would have been perfect here. Okay. And then you gave me the clip. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Oh, man. And Black Uru says, to many white people, Vivek is just a goofy, uppity acting ninja with straightened hair. Hey. I agree with that, actually. I agree with that. I'm trying to see if I got a meme for that one. I don't think I got a meme for that one. But yeah, I agree with that one. Right? And Vivek was over here regurgitating all of white men's most racist, like the slick racist white dudes. Right? It's as if he had their member in his throat. Oops. Just saying. Goddamn, Z. I'm just saying. Right? Dre, I'm lost about what you talking about. I'm lost. Telescopes, they're just a bit player extras in the story of their own life. That oof. You imagine feeling like a side character, like an extra in your own life? That would drive somebody mad. You imagine seeing another person as the main character in your life? What? This is and oh, make it worse because it gets worse. This is not a spouse. That would be still bad, but okay. This is not. This is like random white woman that seems put together. Huh? You imagine? No wonder these women are. This is why they're going crazy. Huh? This is why they're making whole field pieces. Shout out to Indigo Flow. This is why they're making whole field pieces about desirability and the European beauty standard and featureism, colorism. Huh? Yes, he did. And Black Uru says to Gilgami, yeah, the founder of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, said the greatest threat to America was the potential rise of the Black Messiah, which is why so many Black leaders have been deleted and destroyed. They also feared ADOS folks teaming up with Africans. That part too. I think that was J. Edgar Hoover's also fear. If I'm not mistaken, I think he said that also somewhere. Huh? Oh boy, man. So on that note, y'all, I gotta keep y'all too much longer. Oh, and Joe's right on time. And Joe says, and thank you for the super chat. He says the term of the day is losing heroin. Manga term. Let me actually look that up while you're doing that. Gives you a second because yeah, I never heard that before. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, Joes, I get you. Yep. As a matter of fact, let me do that. Let me read that for everyone. Losing heroin. Too many losing heroin. Too many losing heroines. Also known as okay, I'm not gonna read that because that's in Japanese. Is a slice of life romantic comedy anime series that premiered in summer 2024. The story follows let's Nukumizu. Okay, Nukumizu, an ordinary and Kicked out of my own stream, y'all. Got kicked out of my own stream. Okay, so let's do this. Let me read that again. Yeah, I did get cut off. I did get cut off. Um, Kadesh, I did get cut off. So let's actually read that again because Joe's gave us something to think about. He gave us an anime reference. And so once again, too many losing heroines. Too many losing heroines, also known as I'm not gonna read that out loud, is a slice of life romantic comedy anime series that premiered in summer 2024. The story follows Nuku Mizu, an ordinary and friendless boy who witnessed popular girl Yadami getting rejected by her childhood crush. Soon he realizes that all the popular girls around him are facing similar romantic rejections. So, femcells. Uh-oh. So we got a bunch of femcells that call men incels. Wait, what? So femcells. Varying degree of femcells. Some of them more militant and angry than others, but femcells nonetheless. Revelout says basically they're loser women. Say that. Huh? So women who feel a sense of rejection, and I would argue the thing is that these women aren't telling these young men, these boys, these maybe even adult men that they like them. They're just watching those men live their daily lives and noticing, oh yeah, his girlfriend doesn't look anything like me. Or the girl at the job that he's flirting with doesn't look anything like me. Right? Vicarious rejection. I've said this years ago on the breakdown of women's perspective. These chicks begin they heartbroken because their favorite celebrity man is with a woman that don't look nothing like them. So they feel they especially you see this in the black community. Black women who feel rejected because the celebrity crush they have is with a woman that don't look nothing like them. This is another reason why they take. This is one of the reasons why they take it so personal when one of these brothers end up with a non-black woman. Right? Man, losing heroin. Right? I don't know why I want to pronounce losing the wrong way, but yeah, losing heroin. Yeah. Thank you, Joes, for that. Thank you. Right? Right on time. Passport OG, you see what I'm saying? And Passport OG says Lizzo and Captain America. Anyone? No. Because we, as a society, as a black community in particular, I would argue a lot of people of color in general, but I'm not, South Asian or East Asian or whatever. But we haven't had a conversation like ever about women of color, but in our case, black women, in this white man thing. Right? We haven't had a conversation about that and what that means for women of color, want white men to. Just saying. Huh? Shout out to Trell. Shout out to you, Chef Butter Biscuits. Shout out to all of you who have to endure and wash your goddamn algorithm out when Z's done with it. And Chef Butter Biscuits says, completely off topic, Z, you jacked up my algorithm so bad. I just came across a video defending the Crusades. The Crusades, aka Europeans being damn mortified that Islam was going to seep into the Middle East. 1 century, I mean, not century, sorry, not century. What? Maybe let's say a millennia. It's more than it's less than a millennia, but let's say a millennia. 1 millennia later, 1,000 years later, now they got no choice but to let them in. Oops, because your women don't want to have your kids. Yikes! It's less than a millennia, but Mr. Z is gonna say a millennia. It's more like what about like 600 years ago, 700 years ago, give or take, maybe 8, right? No, it's not 8. Eh. Anyway, either way, right? Defending the Crusades. Translation: the white European Christians trying to keep the Muslims from taking over, well, Western Europe and Eastern Europe, but Western Europe. Yeah, exactly, it landed. And removing Moorish rule from Europe, that part too, right? Oh, man. So, on that note, everyone, I ain't going to keep y'all too much longer. We'll pause right here. Elkston, brother, for a little while, it's just gonna be a little torture with the memes because Mr. Z just figured out how to do this, and so Mr. Z is like a kid in a candy store with the memes. So y'all give me maybe a few weeks, maybe a month or so, and I'll get back to maybe not memeless streams, but maybe not so meme heavy streams, right? That part. Um, and yeah, Chaos has let us know this is a link to his stream, I think. So yeah. Um, Landon says the de-blackening. They could do it. Look, it's inevitable. By the way, that's gonna be something on Mr. Z's channel eventually too. Look, it's inevitable. There will be a correction. I'm gonna leave it at that. Right? It's inevitable. If that sounds ominous, so what? Huh? Unless y'all plan on shooting all of these nukes in the air, it's inevitable. I'll leave it at that, right? With that part. Yeah, that fear of a dark planet. I'm saying it a different way on purpose. That fear of a dark planet. Yeah, I hear you, right? But to be frank, y'all just don't have the capacity,
So we don't have the capacity.
right? So there's that. Yeah, thank you, Jose. You already know, right? So on that note, everyone, we will pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Let Z stop torturing y'all with the memes today. Um, and yeah, um, we'll see. We might be because there's something else I wanted to cover. I didn't get to do it today. Um, we'll see. But shout out to the Roger Report. Shout out to Black Uru for shouting me out. Um, uh, if y'all didn't check it, I'll put the link for the Roger Report stream earlier um, in the description box. So shout out to the replay gang. And the Roger Report stream will have the link. I don't know if I want to link it in my description box. Also, I may do that, so we'll do that. And I'll, we'll work on the memes. Maybe we won't put so many so often. But for now, wee, right? And yeah, yeah. And Landon says, i.e., anti-blackness. Look, Afro pessimists have a point. I know it sounds it's sobering and it's maybe a bit depressing and it feels a bit defeatist when you listen to the not anti, I'm sorry, the Afro pessimist speak. But yeah, the Afro pessimist, I mean, yeah, about that. Y'all gives you a second, y'all. And we're back. I'm sorry about that, y'all. And we're back. So, on that note, um, yeah, Landon, you're right. You're 100% right. Um, and Jose, I gotta read this. God damn it, Jose. God damn it, Jose. Look, see, this is what I get. I should have just ended and not read any comments, but now I gotta read Black Uber's comment after it. God damn. All right, Jose. Jesus Christ. And Joe says, imagine China stepping out in the world just for their women to have access to white men. Woo! It's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. Hysterical. And now you're looking at the Chinese men, and all they want to do to Chinese women is this. Damn. So, why did I read it? I should have never read the comment. It's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. Jesus. And Black Uru says, Z, you are a great natural social scientist. Even in spite of your pesky, I gotta save these hoes streak. Look, now Black Uru, right now, once again, I'm not really on that with the ladies. I'm really like this. Right? Because we don't let the black community become this for too long.
That's how it starts, you know. Taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes. A sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
And if the black community hasn't become that, then somebody got to tell me what it is now. But that's exact. Let Riley say it again for y'all. Listen close.
That's how it starts, you know. Taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes. A sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
So, yeah. Oh, the Boondocks. Jesus Christ, the Boondocks was ahead of its time. Jeez, the Boondocks. Whew. Y'all killing me with the Joy Taylor. I promise y'all I'm gonna do research. Mr. Z, it's gonna be a minute late reviews. I'll cover it eventually. I'll let it die down a little bit. A bunch of people gonna cover it first, and I'll let it, you know. And Gil Gammy says the Joy Taylor Haven, hysterical. I know what you meant to say, the Joy Taylor Haven. I know what you meant to say. And I'm Waffle says, Boondocks was such a classic. Man, it's so much memeable stuff off of the Boondocks, right? Meals and whatnot. You hear me? Y'all lucky I didn't clip up. I guess I gotta say it. Y'all lucky I didn't clip the part where he was like, "I'm paying, so she a 304. Why don't I just give her that money? That bitch could go buy groceries. Why pay the restaurant? I could just pay her, and she could go just buy groceries, bruh." Oh, you know what? I really want to clip that. I really want to clip that. I might. I might. Revelot said, "You read the lawsuit?" No, no, I haven't read the lawsuit. I haven't followed that story. That I haven't followed. That's one story that has escaped me. I haven't followed that story. So I know it's been, it's been brewing and people been speaking about it for the past few days. I haven't covered it. I haven't even followed it at all. So I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Man. Landon says the thing is, Joy is really kind of plus size. What did I tell y'all? Shout out to the Roger report. He's probably not still listening. Black will probably remember. Mr. Z was the one that never doubted the big chick that said Usher did something with her. I don't believe that he gave her something. He did. I don't believe he gave her the itchy scratchy, but I do believe he smashed. Right. And when Lizzo said that we over here making fun of her about her weight, but yet she got NFL players in her DMs, I believed her too. Right? So I'm just saying, would they want to marry her? Probably not. Would they want to be seen in public with her? Maybe not. But would they smash? Oh yeah, they would. So just saying. Yeah, she do got some big old bitties. Tig old bitties. Right? So on that note, y'all, look, y'all gonna keep Z here forever. I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all doing. So yeah. And I'm awful sis for me to check out Destro's video. Okay, I will. So on that note, y'all, look, yeah, they smashing these big women. And Kinsey and Red says, 400-pound linebacker will smash. Yeah, yeah. A brother more fit than that. Y'all need to stop. Black men, look, if I get on the sisters, I'm gonna get on y'all too. Y'all need to stop. Y'all be smashing. And sometimes y'all be wifing them. Right? Y'all need to stop. We know there's a reason why Charles says black men are the garbage men of the dating world, of the dating scene. Right? I believe that's when that sister said Usher gave her the itchy scratchy. I didn't believe he gave her the itchy scratchy, but I do believe he smashed. Right? I do believe he smashed. Just saying. Anyway, y'all, look. So if Joy Taylor is a little bit hefty, or she top heavy, as what of y'all said in the comments, yeah, that ain't stopping nothing. That ain't stopping nothing. Brother's gonna smash anyway, right? And she's light skinned. Brother's gonna smash anyway, right? So, on that note, I will pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Mr. Z going, we gonna end it out. Y'all done stole Miss Z time, right? So yeah. On that note, y'all, like I said, y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. I think Chaos put it on one of his links earlier. Yeah. All right, y'all. Mr. And Kinsey and Red says, Kinsey and Red, cut Z off, please. Okay, I'll cut myself off. I'm ending it. Don't worry about it. That's hysterical. All right, y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z out.